convenience of the modern civilization, we often forget how life was a couple hundred years ago. Just to have a feel for the life in 1800s, just imagine that one day you will wake up in a freezing house. Not only your laptop and your cell phone will be gone, but also basic necessities such as the clean water, refrigerator, and the cooking stove. You'll have to hunt to cook yourself dinner, make your own clothes, and know how to use herbs to cure a majority of your diseases. The life in the 1800s was humans' constant fight with the mother nature, and only fittest survived. In my speech, I would like to inform audience about life in 1800s. First, I will talk about housing in 1800s. Second, I will talk about cooking in this period of time. And last, I'll inform you about the various diseases that existed in this period of time. I'm credible to give this speech because my family is active members of the Genesee Country Village, which is the living historical museum, and I've learned a lot of information there. Average people in 1800 lived in a wooden log houses with drafty walls and a dirt-covered floor. The average house had 2 bedrooms, with one of them serving as a bedroom for all family members. The one room was used as a bedroom, and the second room was used for all the other necessities such as cooking, sharpening tools, and socializing at the evenings. The bed spring was made from ropes tied crisscross together, and the mattress was stuffed with a straw. Often in an attempt to isolate house from drafts, people stuffed pieces of the dry grass and the straw between the wooden logs. And according to the Countryside and Small Stock Journal, that's where the phrase cabin fever came from, which is just another name for the carbon dioxide poisoning. In an attempt to clean chimneys, people throw live chickens inside and often boiled the hooves from horses and pigs, polished them, cleaned them, and used them as the glass for the lanterns and also as spoons. Now that I've spoken about housing in 1800s, I'd like to inform you about cooking in 1800s. Cooking in 1800s was not quick and easy, and family time was often scheduled around the dinner. To eat, husband will have to go out in the woods, kill an animal, and then wife have to finish to process it. Side dishes, vegetables, and various breads will have to be grown, harvested, and processed in order for family to enjoy it. If people were sick or somehow not able to hunt or tend to the garden, they'll just die. Nothing was canned, but rather it was eaten fresh, fermented, dried, or frozen. According to Courtney Heiberger from North Carolina Museum of History, she's talking about how they prepared butter. After someone brought in the milk, it usually sat out for about an hour. The cream rose to the top, separating it from the milk. Woman placed this cream in the butter churn and beat it until it hardened, first to the whipped cream and then to the butter. Just as today, people in the 1800s ate 3 times, however, the larger meal was eaten in the lunchtime and it was called dinner. Now that I informed you about cooking in the 1800s, I'd like to talk about various diseases that existed in this period of time. Many diseases that humans of modern time are not even aware of were major killers for the people in the 1800s. The children vaccination were not existent, and with average woman giving birth to 15, 20 children, only half survived. The other half could potentially die from such a disease such as dysentery, pneumonia, measles, and smallpox. Such as a trivial disease today as a scarlet fever could be potentially dangerous and left many children go blind. An example of such case could be found in one of the novel from the series Little House on the Prairie, called By the Shores of the Silver Lake. The quote, "Mary and Carrie and baby Grace and Ma all had scarlet fever. Far worst of all, the fever had settled in Mary's eyes, and Mary was blind. The opium was the only treatment for the heart attack, diabetes, and cancer. According to Countryside Daily, the average lifespan was only 35 years. In conclusion, I'd like to say that the purpose of the speech was to inform the audience about the life in the 1800s. First, I've discussed how housing was in the 1800s. Second, I discussed how cooking was done in this period of time and how various diseases affected humans. It is hard to argue that life back then was more challenging and physically involved. But from the other side, people were more connected to nature and not dependent on the convenience of the modern civilization. I'd like to finish my speech with a quote from the Lebanese-American poet Khalil Gibran. Don't forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet and winds long to play with your hair. Thank you.